ACCP conference live in Savannah, Georgia. Have Dr. Melanie Uhde here. Welcome, Dr. Melanie.
Thank you. Pleasure
You guys,
to be here.
yeah, it's a pleasure to have you. You guys should see the crowd behind us. There's people everywhere. Everyone wants to see Dr. Melanie and ask her questions. You killed it on your presentation. There was like clapping. Even when I came out, I had to do a few things. You could still hear clapping. I think I heard someone yell, "Hallelujah, preach!"
Yes.
Like Cindy said yesterday, the Southern Baptist preacher.
Yeah,
So,
it's so true. Yeah.
you killed it, and I don't know how it
Appreciate it.
felt with a crowd of 300 people watching, and then I look in the back, and there's Robert Cabral watching you. Michael Shikashio's right next to him. I think I saw Ivan down the way. Dr. Hilliard.
Yes.
You've got some heavyweights watching you speak.
Yeah, they're my buddies though. They're my buddies, so it's good to have them here.
Yeah.
It's good to be here, really. It's the first time I have presented, in such big, crowd and so many cool people.
Yeah.
And it's just like the atmosphere is really, really, really great, and everyone's so eager to learn new things.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really amazed how they can all sit through an entire day. My brain shuts off after 60 minutes, and this talks at 90 minutes, and they're still taking notes and taking pictures. So it's a very good place, and you can tell everyone wants to learn. It's very educational. So. It's not, no one is here to just be right, and I love that.
Well, everyone's here to learn.
Yeah.
Could you give us just a very high-level overview of what your talk was about? It was about calmness and maybe some issues with chasing calmness, so very high level would be great.
So the high level really is we want our dogs to be calm, and we often want them to be calm when they're the least capable of being calm. And I want to shift a little bit the perspective of what calmness means and give dogs a chance to get organically to a state of calmness, activate the brain regions that make them more calm, and whatever training we're doing to guide them to it, to align a little better where they're at. They're anxious or reactive or aggressive, and help them to not demand calm, but to say, here's what I do with you to help you on your way to being calm.
Okay. So I'll pitch a question at you while they fix your mic.
Yes.
So you were talking a little bit, talking about the Amazon, which was pretty interesting.
Yes.
I really like that slide, by the way. That was a really interesting point. But then on top of that, I heard you say multiple times that welfare is not in the moment. Welfare is long-term. I'm paraphrasing a little bit.
Yes.
But I thought that was really powerful.
Yes.
And if you could give just a short synopsis of that, because I think we all know that, but to hear it coming from you and to hear it said in that way is really powerful. So could you expand on that just a little bit?
Yeah, that goes back to how we interpret certain studies, and even when we are very bad at seeing our dogs struggle in moments when it's the biggest learning opportunity for them. And the less we get comfortable with aversive control, the more problems we have to see them struggle through this. Whether this is, yes, I yelled because the dog was surprised, or really in pain for a second. And then we take that and think, well, the dog must be suffering now. The dog must hate me. The dog must take away that this is a bad place, which can happen with bad training. But the bad training isn't because of what the intervention was. The bad training is what happens before and after. And the welfare is determined by a dog's ability to have agency, to be cognitively able to understand what situation the dog is in, and then make sense of it. Because life and learning is all about putting life into context. And if you know where you are, where this is going, if you've experienced this before, if you can understand this was not great, I didn't like it, but I know how to avoid it, then welfare is ensured. And what we sometimes do, because this is how studies are being constructed, is we compare how a dog behaves in the moment. Do there any stress signs or not stress signs? And we're so obsessed with not having any stress signs, which is so important though to create resilience. And if you kind of zoom out and look into what was before and after, you get a much better idea of what training methods really help.
I like that.
Yeah.
You say it much smarter than me, so I say it like a non-doctor. I say, to me, training equals freedom. You do good training with your dog, they're going to get freedom, even if the training is stressful from time to time. The end result, and I like the word agency. I say freedom because it's so much simpler for me, but they're free. They can run, they can be a dog.
Yes,
so that was a great message. I love hearing that.
Yes.
And for everyone, you asked at the start, I couldn't believe there were a few people in the audience that hadn't heard you before, which blew my mind. She's the only guest that's been on Dog Pro Radio twice, which is quite an honor because we've had a lot of amazing guests on there.
Yeah, I feel honored.
I don't even think twice was enough because we ended the second one and we were like, we still have more questions. And we were like 2.5 hours deep, and we're like, it's going to be dinner time by the time we wrap up. So Thank you for being here. Thank you
My
for all
pleasure.
you do for the ICP.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you
me.
for everything you do for dogs.
Thank you.
And
Thanks
if you
for
guys,
listening.
yeah, absolutely. And if you guys don't follow her, oh, we've got live questions. We have a little bit of time. Okay, follow her on Instagram. Your stuff is amazing. I love your
Thank you.
videos. And and one second, I'll have to repeat the question so that everyone in the mic can hear.
In regards to the stress relief mouse, heat of the other mouse, did they test it with like an inanimate object, and was it as effective? If so,
What stress related? Yeah.
when they were talking about the mice that were stress relief by attacking another mouse,
Oh, yes.
did they test it with an inanimate object, like a stuffed mouse?
I don't think.
Let me repeat the question
sorry,
so
yes.
they can hear.
You
Sure.
just said it.
It's an awkward setup. So the question is, there's a study of mice attacking other mice when they were stressed, and someone wants to know, was this tested on real mice or an inanimate object like a stuffed mouse?
Yes, so they did mostly other submissive mice because they wanted to make sure that the dynamics of here's someone you can successfully beat up is there. But they also compared what happens if I give you like a toy that you can chew on. Not necessarily beat out, but like kind of get some frustration out too. And that worked well as well. Not as good as engaging in aggression, but that was a good. And then the third one was here's just some food. And food didn't work as well as chewing on something, and chewing on something didn't work as well as actually engaging in an act of aggression. Yeah.
Benefit exercise. Is any exercise better than other perceptive versus resistance versus cardio?
Great, I love that question. I'm curious to hear the answer. So the question was exercise. Dr. Melanie's a huge proponent of exercising dogs, as we all should be. The question was, is there a difference between cardio or strength training, all the different types of exercise? What would be your preference?
Well, the easiest way probably is going on a run with your dog. All things considered, age and whatever, right? Like pavement versus the dirt path. A lot of those benefits that have been established come from trotting or like from certain aerobic exercises, running. Less strength because you can't really put a mouse into a gym and like measure, what happens. But like in other studies with humans, we know that there are benefits too with strength training. So I think for dogs, because they're perfectly capable of doing both, to do strength training for stability training, right? There's enough out there. We talked about this before. Mm-hmm. And of course running, right? And running, it's not so much the sprinting, it's not the fetching as fast as you can and hurting your way on the way back. It's really the trotting. It's the best balanced way for a dog to move for a longer period of time with the least risk of injury. So trotting, whatever that means. For some it means for me it means I have to walk really fast for my dog to trot. For others it means run because you're shorter and your dog is big. And then for a small dog you can go on a leisure walk and the dog is still going trotting.
So it's easier with a Pomeranian,
Yes,
you're saying?
It's
So-
better for you because then if you have a bigger dog, because then you exercise.
Makes you
yourself.
exercise
Yes.
well too?
Yes.
Absolutely. So last thing for you, you mentioned something last night, a new project you're working on. Is that something you're talking about publicly yet, or
Yes, for
you
sure.
want to just give everyone a quick pitch? Because that's amazing. I think you're going to kill it with that.
Thank you, appreciate it. So, because I've gotten more into exercise and the power of exercise, not just for physical, not being obese kind of situations, but your mental health. But people don't know what to do. Like, exactly the question, like, how do I do that, right? So I have a mini program for everyone who is not near me to learn some foundations for that stability, endurance, and strength. But then for everyone who's near me, I want to come to Santa Rosa, and I love meeting people that have followed me somewhere and see them in person. I'm running a weekly canine in motion class, meaning you can come, you bring your dog, and there's circuits, just like you would go to the gym. I explain why we're doing certain things, I help you go through that, and after the end of that session, I hope every dog will just be perfectly trained, well, trained as in like exhausted and content, taking a big nap in the car. So
That is awesome. You're going to kill it. Everyone needs to go to Santa Rosa, check it out, sign up for the class. That'll be awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Melanie. Appreciate
My
it.
pleasure, as always.